So hi everyone, it's Janice, personal trainer and group fitness instructor here at Twin Rivers YMCA. Thank you for joining me today for AOA Strength Fit workout. So if you're joining me for the workout today, you're going to need a space to work in. You'll need to have comfortable clothing and supportive shoes. And today we're going to use hand weights. So you want to get your hand weights nearby because we'll be putting them down and picking them back up again. So you need a place where you can set those safely. Also, if you don't have hand weights, you might want to use, or you can use, something that fits your hand, like perhaps a water bottle. Or of course, remember, you can always use your own body resistance for that workout. So I'm also today going to have a chair nearby. This is a very stable chair so that if I need support when we're working on inner thigh or outer thigh, that I have the chair here. If you feel you need one, make sure that the furniture that you use is steady and sturdy, or you could perhaps use a door frame or a wall. So get those hand weights, get your situation set, and we'll be ready to go with a warm-up, and then we're going to work on each muscle group, finish with a cool down and some stretching. So I'm ready if you are. Ready to go? So let's start with the warm-up, and we're just going to leave the weights aside for right now as we warm up. Get that core temperature up and the muscle groups warmed. So I'm just going to start with the ankles and the feet, which is the toe heel. Good. And then I'm just going to add a little arm swing to that. Just to move just a little bit, and then just push up and a push. So these are our single armed singles and singles. Let's go with a double. Just push and push. So you should be feeling a little warming now in the upper body and the lower. Good. I'm going back to those singles. So you decide, you're at home, you could do whatever, just add just a little bit just of your own attitude in. Just a little bit more here. I'm going to push with both and both. Then I'm going to go to a heel press. So the heel press is a heel down, toe up, heel down, toe up, heel down. Good. And just to press down now. And the lever work from the arms would be from the elbow to the hand as I do that. Good. So I'm keeping the shoulders still. That's it. Good. Now we're going to move this just a little bit to a little tap to the side and side and side. So I'm not really dragging that foot over. I'm going to pick it up just a little bit so that I get some work here in the hip and get that warmed up just a bit. Great. Let's do 4 more of those. 3. And then we're going to add just a little bit of arm work back to warm up in the upper body a little more with a little press and an open. Press and open. Press. Good. Great job. Last 4. 3, 2, and 1. Now just a little knee lift front. Up. Great. 3. Now I want you to think about your core strength as we go through the workout today. So I want you to keep those abs in. Keep that chest open and the shoulders back. And let's add a bicep curl to that. 2. 3. How about 4 more? Now remember, your exhale is with exertion, so you're going to exhale when you lift that knee. Now back just to that pedal. Good. Great. And we're going to step out here. So I just want to step and step. So my feet are just a bit wider than your hips. Plant yourself firmly there. We want to soften those knees just a bit. Place our hands on our thighs, and we want a little bit of hip flexion as well as knee flexion. So I'm going to sit back and up. I'm going to press my hands into my thighs as I do that and up. So we're working into some correct form with squats. Now we're not going deeply. We don't have to go deeply into those. But we do want to think about extending into the posterior. So for the next 4 that we do, I'm going to turn, but you just keep going. So here I am, extending. So you see where that hip flexion is? It is hip flexion as well as knee flexion. And notice, please, that my knees do not go forward. So we're going to fill in some of our work today and add some compound exercises that will include these squats. 2 more. 1 more. Good. So let's just do a little march. Think about how we're feeling. Heart rate might be up just a bit, respiration up just a bit. We should be warm, ready to go. You might want to hydrate now. And pick up those weights. So we're going to start with muscle groups, with upper body muscle group, shoulders. So we're going to get anterior, medial, and posterior shoulder now. So get those weights. Give you just a moment if you want to hydrate there. And I do want to say that you don't necessarily have to use weights to get some work here. You could use your own body resistance. But I want you to watch the form here as I demonstrate for you that my hand, the weight, is not going to come higher than shoulder level, and that's really important. Another thing, please note that my elbows are soft and not straight away, right? So this is correct. Correct. So those are our front raises. So I'll grab my other weight. You set ready to go? Well, one thing that's really important is that you sit into those heels just a bit. That means you must soften your knees, right? So we're just going to tuck that tailbone under slightly and draw the abs in. So here's our rest position. So for the anterior shoulder, I'm going to lift and lift. If you're in a room where you can see your reflection, maybe on a patio door, or if you're in a room where there's a mirror and you can watch your form, it's really important just to make sure you've got that form correct. When you're using free weights, there's a tendency to involve other muscle groups, of course. One muscle group that we're involving here, sitting this way with our knees soft and our abs in, will be our core muscles as well as our leg muscles. So we want to be sure that we've got that form correct. So let's do 4 more. 3, working the anterior shoulder, 2, and 1. Now I'm just going to take my hands to the side here and just kind of soften my step just a bit and then sit back into it. Tailbone under, abs in. We're going to work the medial shoulder. Notice that my elbows are slightly bent as I start with a lift and a lift. Good. So we're working the medial shoulder. Now again, you can do this without a weight. I do not have my elbow locked. And watch, this does not go higher than my shoulder when I lift that weight up. So you want to use a weight that's manageable for this. You don't want to have to boost with a lot of effort involving other muscle groups to lift that arm up. Let that come from your shoulder. Great. We're going to do 8 more. We're alternating now. 8. Now, exhale with that lift. Important to keep breathing, right? We don't want to speed up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Now turn those weights around so that your front of your hand is toward the me, and your fingers are curled around the weights toward your posterior. So what I'm going to do now is work the posterior shoulder. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Note, please, that those weights are in my posterior. They're not here or here. They're back. Good. And so then I'll just lift from the shoulder. Also, please notice the elbow. The lever comes from the shoulder, not from the elbow, right? So I'm going to lift. I want you to be conscious of your effort, that you're not swinging that weight, because you're actually pushing it and releasing it. Push it and release it, so that you're using your muscle strength, no momentum, right, to do this work. So let's go. 8. I'm going to turn. You keep going. 7, 6, 5, 4. How you doing? 3, 2, and 1. First set around. Good for us. Weights are going to go on the thighs now, or you can set them down. And we're going to move right back into our squats and lift. And I want to give you some pointers here. If you'll keep your hands on your thighs, you will support your back as you do this. You want to remember that there is a forward motion with the chest as you come toward your thighs. And there is hip flexion as well as knee flexion, but the knees do not go forward. So you keep going. 4, I'm going to turn to the side. 3, 2, and 1. Now when you stand this time, hold it right there and know where your stop point is, okay? You want your stop point where your knees are slightly soft rather than, this would be wrong, okay? So I'm going to say here. Now let's do 8 more. Ready? 8, 7, keep breathing through this. 6, 5, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great, so we've moved to the lower body with all that. We're going back to the upper body now, a little more anterior shoulder with alternating rows. Lift and lift. So as you watch your form for this, you want to keep that wrist straight. You want to make sure that the elbow doesn't fly up higher than the shoulder. That's it. Good job. Let's do 8. Now we're alternating with these, but with this particular one, after we do these last 8, we're going to go with a double. Now here we go. So it's 1, 2, exhale with that. 3, who's still holding their abs in? Yes, knees are soft. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Hands to the side. Replant, reposition. Soften those knees, abs in, hips under for your side or medial shoulder work. Lift and lift. Again, I am alternating here, and this might be something that you would want to do if you have any issues with that shoulder. Otherwise, you might choose to go with both. I'll demonstrate. But you want to keep this very slow and controlled. And please note, weights are staying below those shoulders. Last 1. So remember, you have that option. And also, please remember that while we're working with the weights, if you need to put them down and just use your body weight, then just do that, okay? So let's go back to those squats one more time. Here we go. Correct form? Yes. Let's go. So remember those cues, right? You're not going to stand all the way up and lock those knees out. 3 more. And 2. That should give us 8. 3. Good. Staying with the lower body. Let's step in just slightly. And we're going to work the hamstrings. So our squats, we're getting glutes, quads, some ham. We're going to get the hamstrings specifically now with our hamstring curls. So I'm going to start with just a lift and a curl. We call these curls. And I do want to talk about correct form while we continue to do these and work those hamstrings. So it's a curl. Notice that my weight is shifting side to side. Curl. Good. And curl. That's it. So when you do your hamstring curls, and you can just hold your weights to the side, or you could set them on your chair. So if you'll keep going with these, I'm going to set my weights down, and I'm going to give you an option that you could do with your balance. So we're going to curl. You can put your fingers on the chair, curl, or on the wall, or on your hips. Curl. Correct form. You keep going. I'm going to turn to the side. Curl and curl. Good. So notice that with the curl, there is no hip flexion. No hip flexion here. The flexion is all in the knee. As the heel comes toward the gluteal, you're contracting and working this hamstring muscle. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit and turn back to the front. So let's do 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4. Are you with me? 3, 2. Now I'm going to go 4 on my right. 1, 2, 3. Now this is engaging the core a bit as you hold your balance. 2, or touch the chair. Do that again. 4, 3. Keep that knee pointing down. One more time. Left. 2, 3, and 4. Great job. How about hydrating? And let's just make a compound exercise out of that before we move on to another muscle group. All right. So we're gonna get those weights again. We're gonna compound that front raise with our squat. Your option is to do the compound front raise with the squat, or just front raise, just squat, but not both together. Let me demonstrate. This is our compound for shoulders, quads, and glutes. So I'm gonna lift as I squat. Lift as I squat. Good. Lift. Lift. Great. 4. Now we don't lift with both hands. We do these alternating here. So we can keep one hand on the thigh. Let's do 8 more. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4 more, please. 4. And 3. 2. 1. Great job. Check that out just a bit. Step it out. Add your curls here. Let's just put the hands here or set the weights down. So we're going to curl, 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 curl. Now I want to make this compound and I want to add the shoulder, particularly the anterior shoulder with it. So I'm going to row, 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 row. Knee is going to point down. Keep going for 4 more. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. Last 4, 4, 3, how about 2 and 1. Yay, good job, guys. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so let's get just a little stretch there now. Now bring your arms around behind us. Lace the fingers, push down. Lift that chin up slightly, draw the abs in. Just lift the hands up just a bit and push back. So what we want to do is stretch that anterior shoulder here. I'm going to bring our arms around to the front, lace. Notice I'm going to step out, draw my abs in, and round just a bit through the back and shoulders. Now my chin does come down slightly as I look toward the chair. And I'm just going to move to the side and back to the center and move to the side and back to the center and down. Checking that out just a bit. Let's get that medial shoulder as we come across. With this stretch, you want to keep that shoulder down. Good. Breathe with it. If you like, you could tip the head with this. You're going to tip the ear in the direction that the fingers are pointing. So you'll go like this, so that you get a stretch all the way up the side of the neck. And then we'll just open that out. Let's go the other way. Here we are, shoulder down. And if you choose, a little head tilt there. And with your next exhale, let's just shake all out of that and let's think about this. So we've worked the shoulders, anterior and posterior. I want to get the back just a little bit more. We've also worked some in the leg. So for the back, if you like, pick those weights up again, or you can use your own body resistance. Hydrate, please. So for the back, to start, I'm going to put my weights here. And note that I have my arm into my side. There is an air space here. It's right into my side and right into my side. Good. And my elbows are about 90 degrees. And the motion is going to come from the muscles of the upper back, or the movement. So I'm going to pull my elbows back and I'm going to contract right across the shoulder blades in the back, right there. And then I'm just going to release. So if you're looking at the video, you should see where I'm working there through my back. So let's do that. Here we go. Let's do 8. 1. Notice how the chest opens up with that, and release. 2. And release. And I'm not really extending my arms forward. I want to focus just back right now. 4. Well, you can work on those abs while you're doing this, can't you? So just draw that navel in toward the spine. Tuck those gluteals under. 3. 2. We'll get there. 1. Great. So I'm going to get just a little bit more work in the back. And I'm going to suggest to you with this is like, we want to work down a little lower into the lats. So we're going to work right down into here. I'm going to use weights, but for me to guard the shoulder, I'm not going to extend my arm way up and pull in. This is the motion. Out and pull. This is a lat pull. For those of you that use machines, you know what I'm talking about here, where you take and pull, or the cables. But you can do that with weights, but they should be light ones. And you can modify by not extending the arms quite so far. So I'm going to reach and pull, and reach and pull, and reach and pull. If you begin feeling undue pressure in the shoulder, put the weights down and do this without the weights. Keep going. Let me turn to the rear so you can see. Let's do 8. Reach and pull. 2 and pull. 3 and pull. 4 and pull. 5 and pull. 6. There's your exhale. 7. Here's your exhale. Last one. And release. Great job. Placing the weights down. Let's think about now working the opposing muscle group to the back, and that would be the chest. So today, I'm going to take you to the wall. Hopefully you have a place there where you can go. If not, you could do your chest press, okay? Otherwise, you might want to go to the wall if you have a safe place. I'll show you. We're just going to do a few wall push-ups. So going to the wall, and you should be able to see me here, but I'm going to move over here with my hands on the supportive structures and step back, okay? Now, I'm going to press my chest toward the wall and push back. But I want to avoid the momentum. So what I'm going to do is not push all the way back, okay? So I'm going to stay in that work zone. Various ways you can place your hands. 4, 3, exhale with that. 2, 1 more. 1, great. Bring those arms around, get yourself a nice stretch. Hydrate as well, and we'll just move right on. We still have some more muscle groups to work. So we've done shoulders. We've done some quadriceps, gluteals, and hamstrings. We'll get a few more of that. We've also done some chest and back. So moving on, we've got biceps, triceps to do, and I'm going to do just a little bit more leg work. Releasing that, shaking it out. Let's go. So we're going to take those hand weights again. Good. And we're going to go with some bicep curls. So I'm just going to step out here and plant my weight in the heel. Palms facing toward you. Now my arms are in close to the side, but I'm not going to dig them in here, okay? Because I want to open that chest and drop those shoulders down. Another thing I want to be sure that I do is just draw my abs in. Sit into it just a little bit. So I'm completely extended here now, and this is a complete contraction. But I'm going to work into not a complete extension. See how this weight is higher than this one? So where I'm going to start is right here. And I'm going to lift and lower. Please note that I'm not going to go all the way back down. So I'm constantly keeping that bicep contracted. That's it. Let's go with 8, 7, 6. Exhale with that lift. Right there. 4, 3, 2. And then I'm going to focus on just the right. Up and down. Not all the way down. Up and down. Up and down. Good. Stay in there with it. 4 more. 3, 2. And then I'm going to let this weight go all the way down as I work the other side for 8. You don't want to grip that weight too tightly. And 4. Nice. So the shoulder is actually still. The fulcrum of the lever here is the elbow. So the lever is just the elbow to the hand. 2 more, I think. 1 and 2. Great job. Now, we're not quite finished with biceps, but we're going to take just a minute and set those weights down. And we're going to work into some leg work and then go back to biceps, okay? So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use the chair to touch, and if you need to do that, you can. If you really want to engage the core and your balance is good, you could do this without touching the chair or the wall. So you just take my leg, and I'm just going to step back, toe to heel. Good. And I'm just going to push my weight back just a bit too, so that when I look down and look over my knee, I see the toes of my foot, okay? I want to step back just a little bit further. Yeah, that's it. So this is from the front. Notice that my back heel is down. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that, because I want you to take note of the form, that the knee is not overextending the toe. Good. So now if you have any issues with arthritis in the foot or the ankle, you should let this be your static form. And you should stay like this as we move on in the workout. With the heel down, and this back knee soft, by the way. If you have no issue with flexion in the foot and your balance is good, you can come on that back toe and tuck that knee under, draw those abs in. So this is just a little bit more work on that quad glute area. If we press down just ever so slightly, we're really getting some work here in the lower body, okay? So this would be the correct form. You want to try it. If you need to keep your foot flat, you wouldn't press. You would just keep that foot flat, draw those abs in, and stay static while we do the presses. So it's not a bounce, remember, it is a press. If you need the chair for form, do that. So let's go ahead and start with that right leg and see what we can do. Let's try 8 here, okay? So otherwise, you're going to be static for an 8 count like so. Or you're going to be on that toe with those hips tucked under for an 8 count. 1, 2. Now, we're not going deeply on this. We want to be safe with those joints. We're still really working those muscles. 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Good. Taking care with those knees to keep them soft. Let's go to the other side. Here we go. Back. And again, if you need to stay static, stay static. If you're going to leave that heel down, you should not press, or you're going to stretch too much through the Achilles tendon. If you're going with the press, come with me. Otherwise, you remain static. So here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5. And notice, to get into this lunge, we stepped back, not forward. 3, 2, and 1. Great. So let's pick up those hand weights again. Let's move back to our bicep work, but let's do them just a bit differently this time. So I'm going to turn the palms open toward you, but then I'm going to rotate at the shoulder. Okay, so I'm not here. My start point is here. And I lift toward the medial shoulder. Lift. Lift. And I'm going to keep it in a zone right here where I'm not going to completely release that weight all the way down. So it's 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Releasing those down, turning them around for your hammer curls. Here we go. Still working biceps. Soften those knees, abs in, up and down. Now, again, let me notice I turn to the side. Come on with me here as you watch. Up and down. It's not up and swing. That would be incorrect. Start here and stop here. Ready? Let's count them now. 8 and 8. Good. 7 and 7. Keep going. You got it. 6 and 6. 5 and 5. 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, and 1, and 1, and release. Great. Moving through that again. Turn around to our first form. Palms up, shoulders back, knees soft. Ready? With both. up. Now not all the way down. 2, 3, 4. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. Great job. Just going to do not a bounce, but a pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are your abs still in? Then the tailbone tucked under with the glutes tight. Last 1 and 2 and release. Ready to turn that out? So here we go. Now I'm going to shorten my range of motion with this one. 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, and about halfway down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep breathing. 6, 7, and 8, and release. Great. Now, for those hammer curls, we're going to have an option here. So you can do the hammer curls just standing with good form, or we could do those hammer curls with our lunge. Okay. So I'm just going to give you a demo first, and then we're just going to go right ahead with that. So I'm going to step back. I have the weight in the opposite hand of the leg I'm going to step back with. And I'm going to step back here. I'm going to make sure my form is correct. My chest is lined up straight away. Good. That's it. And so if you need to touch a chair here, fine, or you need to touch the wall of the door frame, then you should do that. And so I'm here with the hammer curl. I'm going to start right here and lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Now I'm keeping that back knee soft and I'm keeping the heel down. So as we continue here, we have an option. If we take it to come up on the toe and add a press with this. So if you can come on the toe and tuck that knee under, it's down, 2, good, 3, 4, chair if you need it, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Woohoo, good job. Step in, shake that thigh out. Great. So we're ready to do that to the other side. So here we go. Stepping back, finding a balance if you need that. Now remember, if you're keeping that back heel down, there's really too much pressure on the ankle, the heel, and the knee to try to press. So just stay static, which means still, okay? So let's start first with everyone static, unless you choose to go on and move into the press. 2. So this is one form for you. And I'm not going to take that weight all the way down. I'm going to keep the bicep contracted. So you can add to that now if you choose. I'm going to come on that toe and tuck that knees down, the hips under rather, for our count. Ready? So it's 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Bring that in, check that out. Good. Hydrate. Let's think about what's missing from our workout today. You got to get those triceps in, right? So go ahead and hydrate. We'll pick up the weights one more time for triceps. So I'm going to go with one weight. We'll work one arm at a time here. So I do want to step one foot in front of the other slightly. I want to soften the back knee. This knee is bent. Good. So I'm going to start with that weight at my waist. And then from the shoulder, I'm going to push it back slightly. Okay. So this is your side view. This is your front view. So you see where the weight is. I'm going to stay to the side. So here we go. The elbow is the fulcrum of this lever. The shoulder is still. So I'm going to push and push. Do you notice that short range of motion? Where am I stopping? Here and here. 8. That keeps the tricep engaged the whole time. And then you don't get that big swing by bringing it all the way back up to the front. So we'll do 4, which adds momentum. It takes away work. 4, 3. Hold those abs in. 2, and 1. Now I'm going to pulse that back there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is not a bounce. It is not big. It's very controlled. And last 1. Release. Down. Good. Let's try that other side. So we step back. Ensure that we are in the right form. We're bringing that weight up from the shoulder. I'm going to move it back. Now remember the lever is elbow to hand. Like so. As we push. Now also note, I stop here and here. So it's from there to there. 8, 7, 6, and 5. Keep going now. 4. I'm holding my abs in. I have to think about it, so I'm going to remind you. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to pulse. Look at the pulse. It's very controlled, and it's not easy. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that. Yay. We're almost there, guys. Almost there. We've worked our major muscle groups, but I want to spend the last segment here on inner and outer thigh. So we'll need one weight. And I really recommend that you use some sort of stability here, some sort of form where you have stability. I'm going to move back a little bit so you can see my foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with this inner leg. So wherever you are standing and touching something that's stable, you're going to use the leg that's closest to it. You can have your weight in the opposite leg for right now. And so what I'm going to do is bring this leg forward just here and just touch that toe. I want you to be sure that you soften that back knee. And I'm going to place this weight here. I'm going to hold it there on my inner thigh. And then I'm just going to lift my foot up. Draw those abs in. Small movement with some added resistance here as I move across. 2. It's not a swing. It's a lift and a replace. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I will say, there's a tendency when you get tired to lose that form, but you keep that chest up, okay? Now we're going to take that weight to the other leg. And this is going to be our support leg, so I'm going to soften. And here the weight is on the outer thigh. I'm going to bend my knee slightly. My foot is behind me as I lift. 2, 3, 4. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. So now we want to go to the other side of where you are standing. So I'm just going to move this chair up and move it over just a little so you can still see the more. And then move around to the other side. So we're going to do inner thigh here. So we're going to stand with this knee slightly bent. Weight in the opposite hand. It goes to the inner thigh. I'm going to lift. And when I lift, I'm not going to lose my core strength here. I'm going to be nice and tall, shoulders back, and lift, lift. Have a little added resistance by holding that weight there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And release. This leg now becomes the support leg as I sit into that with a soft knee. And the weight goes here. Ready? Now I want to bend the knee slightly so that my foot is slightly behind me. And I want to lift the hip. 2, 3. A little added resistance by placing that weight there on the thigh. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Releasing that. Let's come on around here just a minute. Let's take some nice deep breaths in and let's think about this workout for a moment. We've gotten most of our major muscle groups. We've done some compound work as well, compound exercises, where we combine the weights, upper and lower body. Good. Let's get another breath. We're going to do just a little bit of stretching here. And exhale. So I'm going to extend one foot. Again, you might use some support if you want. Heel down and toe up. I'm going to hinge at the hips here and just extend those hips back for a little stretch here through the calf and hamstring as you lift that toe toward the ceiling. So some of the work that we did today, although not specifically abs, but some of the work that we did today when we had balance, like with the lunges and so forth, we were engaging core muscles. So if you want just the ab workout or just the core workout, you can go into our video library and you'll find some ab workouts as well as my core basics class. So they really focus here on the abdominals and other core muscles. As we come back then, let's get that other side, heel down, toe up. Good. Now, when you're doing this stretch, if you aren't supporting yourself, you want to put your hands on your back leg, the one that is not the one that you have extended to the other leg, as you sit into that. Good. And releasing out of that. We want to get a little bit of a quad stretch. So I'm going to use the support here. I'm going to bend my knee, bring my foot up behind me. And you can get a quad stretch just with this. Some people are able to take their shoe or their sock, perhaps even their whole foot and ankle, and hold that. But I do want to make a point here when you're getting a quad stretch. This is the quad stretch. Okay? Not this. This doesn't stretch the quad with that hip flexion. You got to point that knee down and keep it close to the other knee. Now you can push it back even just a little bit, like so. Deep breaths in and exhale with that. Really feel that stretch in my quad right now. And release. So we'll go with the other side. So as we go with the other side, here it is. Now notice the knees are together here. Not here, but here. I can get a stretch this way. I do get a better one if I can reach back. And again, please note, the thighs are even, the leg isn't in front, it's here. Or even back just a bit. Breathe and exhale with that. And release. Biceps, triceps stretch. So here we go. For biceps, I like to stretch this way. Just extend your arms, point those thumbs up, and then turn them back. But for me, this stretches not only my biceps, but also chest and anterior shoulder. Draw those abdominals in. You really have to contract those back muscles to do this, don't you? In the middle back. And release. Shake all that out. For our tricep, here we go. I'm just going to bring my hand behind me and just pat my shoulder. I want to just push up with the other hand, just like so. So this is the form. Now, you will note that there are some who do this, pull back. You know, you can do that if your shoulders allow you to, but you can get your stretch just like this. Just like this. This is where I'm going to stay. Sometimes we get just a little bit of neck tension when we pull that arm up and over our head. So this is going to be my stretch right here. And I'm just going to release it straight away. For the other side, here we go. And up and back. And then I do actually push back here just a little. I'm just going to push just a bit here. And breathe with that. We never want to hold our breath during our stretches. We want to keep breathing. This is a static stretch, so I'm not moving through it. And I'm going to release that. Good. Let's get a breath. And exhale. Now, if you have a chair, you can do just a little bit of a hip stretch with me. So I'm going to move to that as I wind up and finish out this session. Turn the chair around so that you can see the seated position. If you have a chair, it really needs to be one that is pretty, Not like so soft that you sink down into it and go to sleep, right? It needs to be one that's fairly firm for this stretching here. So I'm just going to turn this chair around and have a seat right here. Good. So for this stretch, I want to get just a little bit more stretching through the hip. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, just lift this foot up. And I'm going to bring it across here. Notice I have an ankle above the knee. I'm just going to pull that on back a bit. Good. And then I'm going to take my hand and place it right here on this inner thigh. And just push down a little bit as I sit tall. Not a great stretch right now on that outer hip. Feels really good. Anterior and posterior, actually. So just going to breathe and exhale. Breathe and exhale. Typically, we hold stretches about 20 seconds or so. You could hold for 30. With your next exhale, just release it. Just melt out of it. And let this leg go all the way across. And I do want you to sit nice and tall. Notice I'm away from the back of the chair. So I'm going to bring my opposite hand to this leg around. I'm going to take the same side arm, just put it behind me. And I'm going to turn and face that direction. The same side, facing the side that that leg is crossed over. And I don't want to slump into this. You lose the stretch completely if you're sitting like this. So please sit nice and tall and drop that back shoulder, lift the chin slightly. Draw those abdominals in and breathe. Don't get so focused on form that you forget to breathe. With your next exhale, I want you to melt. Just now we're melting. And then we're going to turn back. And we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to bring this leg up. I'm going to put it over ankle to thigh. Good. And I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to press down here, opening up this hip. Good. Breathing with that. Great. And with your next exhale, I want you to melt. Cross it on over. Sit nice and tall. Arm here, hand behind you, and turn. Now drop that back shoulder. Lift and open that chest and breathe with that. And with your next exhale, just go right ahead and release that, uncross. Let's go to that other leg one last time. We can lift it. We're going to sit tall. We're going to circle the ankle, wiggle the toes. Other side, circle the ankle, wiggle the toes. And I'm going to bring this leg back up one more time, and I'm going to cross ankle to thigh. I'm going to sit nice and tall, and again, I'm going to place my hand here. This time, I'm going to hinge forward from the hips, bringing my chest toward you, bringing my chest toward the crossed over thigh. And wow, what a great stretch you'll get there now in the posterior. Posterior hip and outer hip. Breathe with it. Breath in, breath out. And when you're ready with your next exhale, you're going to melt and then release. Other side. Let's enjoy this one. Lift, sit tall, lift that chest, circle and circle. Then we're going to bring this leg again, ankle to thigh. Get myself nice and seated in a position I should be in. Hand is here. This is the time again, as we did on the other side. We're going to hinge toward that thigh with the chest. But we're going to keep the chin up. We're going to keep the back straight. If we round our back here, we lose the stretch. And you should feel it right back here through the posterior gluteus and hip, actually deep in under there into the piriformis. So we're just going to press through that. You're going to breathe with it, very important. And with your next exhale, melt, release. Get a nice big breath in. Exhale. Give yourself a hug. You did great. Inhale, open out again. Give yourself a hug the other way. Arm goes Cross, walk those fingers around the shoulders. Good. You can even drop the chin slightly. Inhale and exhale and release. And guys, that's our class for today. AOA Strength Fit. Missing you all. Can't wait to see you in person again. Here's a virtual heart for you. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Bye now.